Hey guys, my name's Desolator Magic, even though the closed captioning never seems to agree. And oh, another product leaked, and this one actually hasn't been very widespread despite this coming out yesterday and I just didn't have time to make a video on it. So these are apparently called Secret Lair the Godzilla lands, and I do have a couple reasons to believe that these are fake, just FYI. But they're very small, subtle signs. So now that I've said that, let's just move on, assuming that they are real. Yeah, there's apparently another Secret Lair product coming out to you chonkers, so you can just stuff them in your fat quarantine faces the second you get them in the mail. You people disgust me. Oh wait, that's right, they didn't take my advice and make them edible. Anyway, this is the Godzilla lands, and as you can see, they're just basic lands with Godzilla in them, which is kinda cool, but it's another Secret Lair with just basics. I mean, it's not like the average Modern or Commander deck doesn't run basic lands, so people need them, and if you need them, but you only need a couple, and you like making your deck look pretty, I could see people buying, some $10, $15 basics. Maybe picking up a couple M13 popcorn planes. It's supposed to be a sky, but it is clearly buttered popcorn. Look it up. And every time I mention them in a video, they go from 25 cents to $4. Very strange. But these are kind of cool looking. I mean, we got the planes. We got, clear Godzilla in there. We got, I don't know, is that Mothra? I thought Mothra was white. I have no idea. That honestly looks like a children's morning educational TV character. But yeah, he's going stomping through some plains. I mean, it honestly looks more like forest, but that could be grass, maybe. It seems a little tall in comparison to his legs to be grass. I think it's trees, which means this is a forest. So, kind of weird. And you know what? They actually, besides the title bar being white, they don't have an identifier calling it a plains anywhere on the card, except I assume the Japanese on the bottom is basic land-plains. I mean, what else would it say? Other than a Godzilla pun, that would be awesome, but it probably doesn't. So, I mean, pretty cool artwork. I would not mind having this, but at Secret Lair prices, I mean, you get 5 of these. You only get 1 of each basic land. And let's just assume they're, I want to say between 20 and 30, and honestly, I'm going to say probably 30, knowing them. Well, I'll split the difference, call it 25, so $5 a land. That's not terrible, but I just, despite the value and the demand and the future value and the investment potential, I don't like Wizards of the Coast selling people singles. That is just bad. Everybody can agree on that, it seems. So that said, is this probably worth more than $5? Yeah, probably. So next up we got Godzilla climbing and a mountain and fighting someone. I think it starts with an R, I don't remember. Oh, by the way, I think I might say mountain on the top as well, because that looks like it would say basic land - mountain, and that looks like roughly the same symbol. So, I mean, absolutely amazing art. They get all the bars and crap out of the way and just are like, here, have a painting on a card. I mean, absolutely beautiful. I still don't like the idea of this product, but if anybody bought this and loved it, I wouldn't blame them or tell them not to do that. You know what I mean? Next up, we got Godzilla creeping in a little forest there. That is definitely a forest. It's primarily green. It's got the green outline, and it probably says forest on the top and the bottom. So, I mean, yeah, he's dead center. Yeah, it's high contrast, but it's like he's kind of faded into the fog, and maybe that's a thing, but he's not very big on the card. There's not much detail. It's still kind of cool, though. I mean, it kind of almost has a vibe of a blurry Bigfoot sighting. It's like a comedy card that's not meant to be taken seriously. With how cool the other two look, I don't think that's what they were going for, but that's what I'm getting from it. So next up we got the swamp, which definitely looks like a swamp, or bare minimum a marshland, and looks like Godzilla's fighting the owl from the Tootsie Roll commercial? How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll pop? Who cares? Godzilla's about to beat the crap out of you. By the way, looking at the bottom of the card, how is this number 65? And also, why is it a rare? If this is simply a basic land swamp, then why or how is this a rare? And how is this a number higher than 5? Very interesting. Just thought I'd point that out. Next up, and lastly, of course, we've got the island, which, I mean, yeah, it's at least a coastline. It's very, very, very yellow. I don't like yellow islands. I don't like, white forests. I don't like swamps that look way too foresty with too many flowers and leaves. If you look down, you want to just visually be able to see, oh, the overwhelming theme of that artwork is, blue. This, you could honestly mistake this for a plains. If you were just carelessly glancing or quickly, while trying to, get warned for the second time for slow play, trying to make a quick mathematical decision, I could see somebody saying, oh yeah, tap for white, and then getting called on it. But that said, pretty cool artwork. I mean, he's not fighting anyone, but, he's there. He's pretty high detail. I mean, he's not that big on the card. I mean, if you look at the full artwork, he looks bigger because they cropped it funny. It's almost like they knew. But because of the harsh lighting, I mean, it's a cool lighting effect, but, one, like I said, it's like yellow and white. And then two, I could see somebody overlooking from a distance the fact that Godzilla is in this card. So, I don't really like this one. So overall, I think 3 of them look pretty cool, I guess. 2 of them, not really feeling it. But am I going to buy them? No. I mean, I'm a little short on money right now, but even if I wasn't, do I think this is worth $30 of your Trump stimulus money if you live in America? No. At least like 200 or 300 of it should go to like prepper supplies and food supplies, and yeah, just saying. If you didn't learn your lesson the first time, then there ain't no helping you. From an investment standpoint, when I pick these up, I don't know, there's so many special basics, and I don't think these are foil. I don't know, even in the future, I couldn't even see them selling for 10, honestly. Maybe 10 on the dot, but then you're looking at, $4 to ship it first class. Thanks, U.S. Postal Service, for jacking up those rates. And, okay, you'd probably sell them as a set. It would be hard to make money on them, and since you can't pick up 100 of them, a small margin, because remember, when you buy a card and speculate, if it's 25 or 50 cents, you want it to hit like $5. Like, what's that on a percentage scale, You don't want to pick up something for $5 and hope it hits 7. That doesn't do anything for you. When you move them, you'll lose the entire margin. So are these going to hit $25 a piece? No, I don't see that ever happening. The most interested people are going to pick them up and then have them. So where's the additional demand going to come from? Also, if you think a card is going to go from like, I don't know, $5 to $9, and you're like, okay, or maybe 5 to 10, little 2 to 1, then the relatively low percentage increase, you could make up for it by buying, 100 of them, 1,000 of them, whatever, because, you just slap labels on them, and sometimes you can even move them in big quantities. So then, yeah, you're making, at the end of the day, after expenses, $1 to $2 each, but, oh, look, you bought 1,000 of them. Okay, $2,000 in your pocket, Well, one, you wouldn't want to do this with this because they're already so high that the crash potential is devastating. You could basically, if you were to pick up 1,000 of these, lose like several $1,000s. For every dollar they drop, you just lost $1,000. Well, in a kit, I should say. Each, you'd lose 5. Ouch. Well, in my head, I meant you acquire 200 of each, 1,000 total quantity. Regardless, since you can't reasonably do that, what's the point? I mean, people are like, ooh, this is guaranteed to go up because it's limited run and they're hot and they're like a weird custom, thing that they're never going to do again. Cool, enjoy your $1 profit per card, which isn't even worth your time or tying up the money. So from an investment standpoint, absolutely dead. Now from a personal trade binder, wouldn't it be nice in the future? I might trade it next year, the year after that, whatever. Yeah, probably. I mean, I think the game's going to take some serious damage considering what's going on right now. But let me just say, speaking of that, where the hell did these come from? How are they mailing them? Whose staff is sending these out? I mean, they probably are already printed. They already were probably months ago. But remember, the first wave is print whatever you want, and then the second wave is print to demand. Well, the printing facilities are pretty well closed from what we heard. I don't know how they're even getting the next couple sets printed. I mean, maybe one somewhere is still open and they're all just wearing masks or something, and I don't know. If they were, I guarantee they would charge a little bit more money for the, just opportunity. And I think we all know cheapo Wizards of the Coast would not pay a penny extra. I mean, if it comes to distributing a set or not at all, maybe, but let's just say they wouldn't be happy about it. But then, okay, they don't know because the orders aren't in yet because this isn't on sale yet, who these are going to. So what, fulfillment staff, as they call it, are going to be slapping labels on these and sending them out? And then how do we know that whoever the carrier is still going to carry them? Now, I know the U.S. Postal Service is like super low volume right now because they're not carrying anything, which makes no sense. You'd think people would be using shipping more. I had heard that FedEx and UPS are flooded, which makes no sense because it's businesses that aren't open. Personal people are the ones ordering, so I don't get how any of that's working. But it's possible that, like, my friends at FedEx where I used to work, they're telling me that, oh, it's a nightmare because nobody's open and they can't successfully deliver anything. So they're having to, like, rent storage trailers and stuff to just, like, store them and try to call people and look up their number on, like, white pages and, like, arrange a time to be at their store for their business that's closed for inventory that they don't want. So that might be the nightmare part. It might actually be lower volume now. But either way, the U.S. Postal Service is so low volume that if they sent it that way, it should get delivered because, like, the trucks are going out half empty. But I also heard about restrictions where, like, Amazon is refusing to send, by, I guess, government recommendation, anything that's not, like, super crucial. They're starting to delay it because, I thought because the shipping system was completely swamped. So which one is it? Is the U.S. Postal Service losing $22 billion because there's nothing to send? Or are they prioritizing super important stuff because the whole system's flooded? My guess is it's like neither, and they're just understaffed for safety reasons, and they're working slower because everybody's got to stay away from each other. And if that's the case, these might get held up. They might get stored improperly. I'm sure they're like plastic sealed, but still, I mean, these might arrive damaged because they had to move or come off a truck and go back on a truck an artificial number of times, or artificially high, I should say. And maybe it'll get, stacked up on top of other things. It's just nothing's really going out and moving at the normal rate, which means more potential for damage or a couple week or 1 month delay or something. So, and if you order this and you don't get the first ones that are already run, you're not going to get them for a long time. I've heard people are still waiting for ones that they ordered like a long time ago because printing and logistics and stuff are mostly shut down. So, yeah. That I would say is like an overriding factor, but also, I mean, it's a great opportunity to send Wizards a message that we're done buying this stupid overpriced crap that cuts out the local gaming store. That said, people are speculating that this will be on sale for $30. They might be sending these straight to local gaming stores for free. I don't know. It's a leak. We don't have information. Doesn't really help them if they're not open, but I guess they could go in for a day, receive them, and then, mail them somewhere, I guess. Sell them online. But assuming this was a normal thing, I would strongly encourage you to not order these, not participate in this in any way, not only because it might get damaged, held up, delayed almost indefinitely, but just, come on. They're basics, they're overpriced. Wizards never should have launched a product like this. Selling singles directly to people are ridiculous, and it's time to stop. So please do not order this if it goes on sale, and I will see you guys next video.